Greetings, Skyfarers, and welcome to another episode of Sunless Skies. I'm Cobalt Thorium. In this episode, I believe we're going to try to get back to London, see if we can help out the sun with its issues. Maybe do a little bit of exploration while we're out there. Well, I was really hoping to finish our hoarder guys situation. If we could come up and explore this area before going... No, must not. We're not going to go this way either. I want to get to London on very little fear remaining, because we don't really know where to get to deal with the fear in Albion. At least I'm assuming that there's a place, and they're not just going to make you go insane. I just had to check to see if that was still a solid wall. That should take us about there. How's the terror doing? 4, not bad. I'd like to be even lower. Probably about 5 or 6 by the time we actually get there. Stopping at Port Prosper, it might go back down. What did we just consume? Fuel? Okay. Alright, yeah, so we're here. Let's see what we can do about 92. Alright, we can't do... we already know about the relay. Leak industrialists don't care. Personally, as chairman, we don't have enough tackety nameplates. Settlers, we'll get them on the way out, so we'll explore Port Prosper. Vaudeville Theater, box seat. Come on, show me the terror too. And we got some gossip. Gossip's always good. Yeah, we're down to 2, that's fine. I would have preferred if it were... Oh, not no space. Oh, we must have stuff in our hold. Crap. Alright, well, not much we can do. Just have to sell it in London. I'm not going to go all the way back to New Winchester. I think all that was the same as before. what do we want to do here? There's a mission to bring something to Brabazon. I do have a feeling that a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing here is going to be just hold on a second. I don't like how this is called Home Bureau on this, but it's called the Avid Horizon on this. What is that? So this is probably the corpse of the Clockwork Sun, or the original Sun. Jeez. Alright, so we're going to be doing a lot of exploration. It might be good to just get that Brabazon Workworld thing going now. Who knows, it could give us a future quest. And we'd have to... And maybe that'll give us some indication of where something is, like... Oh, the such and such is northwest of London, you know? Alright, Ministry ships. We like Ministry ships. Alright, we are at Brabazon. What is this? The last day? This is new. Alright, let's do that. So it said a horn blares. The factory doors creak open. The work worlders, lucky enough to have reached the end of their service, blink at the light of freedom. They were young when they first arrived. Now their skin is calloused and wrinkled, aged not only by hard labor, by the slow burning light of the Clockwork Sun. We could help a work worlder with their paperwork. That's a little too low. They're due to be released, but Brabazon never makes it easy. Or we could recruit crew. We don't need crew, so let's get out of there. What are we supposed to do here? That's not it. Okay, the Dazzled Sequencer has enlisted you in his attempt to inflict kindness upon the needy. Deliver the well-intentioned package to the Brabazon Workload. Is this not the Brabazon Workworld? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Deliver the Sequencer's care package. Actually, can I write a report? No, I can't. Alright. Deliver the Sequencer's care package. When you explain the nature of your delivery to the overseers, some appropriately downtrodden workers are summoned. They summon the worker... Wait, the summoned workers are exquisitely downtrodden. Wonderful. The overseers take vocal pride in having gone the extra mile on your behalf, and carefully selected only the most miserable of a bad bunch. The amassed laborers shuffle their feet, apparently expecting a trick. That's unfortunate. Finally, a filth-faced man steps forward, ducking his head in greeting. He fumbles the package open. He picks out one of the bow tie manuals and stares at it for a while. A series of emotions pass very visibly over his face. Finally, he inclines his head and thanks you without inflection. Aww. Okay, so the Sequencer's charity. Return to the Sequencer at the Clockwork Sun. The well-intentioned package is gone. Onwards. Alright, 1 second. Well, set my stopwatch. Alright, well, there was less there to do than I expected. I suppose we could travel a little Nice. Oh no, the workers are going to rise up? Okay. Alright. Brabazon Workworld is the first workworld to be established in Albion. I don't remember if I read this, so I'm going to read it real quick. Working here, the debtors can escape prison, yet they remain until their debts are repaid and a ticket has been funded. Primary industry is hours processing, has the side effect of accelerating time on the workworld surface. The dock is between Brabazon Workworld and Little Nice. I assume that's Nice as in it's the city in France and not Nice. It could be Nice. Where the more privileged overseers reside. The dock is, for the captain's sake, near Little Nice than the Workworld. Okay, that makes sense. Unexpected aging would deter even the greediest captain from arriving. Okay, let's travel to Little Nice. So we have the governor of Brabazon Workworld resides in the picturesque village at the far end of the bit between. I do believe we have read this. Thick double doors separate the bit between from Little Nice. Fresh air in this pretty village is in sharp contrast to that near the dock. Alright, Little Nice is entirely charming. It's populated with carefully unique houses, painted in a curated array of colors. Overseers in striped blazers tend to the topiary and maintain the paintwork. Behind a water feature bustling with cherubs is a cottage with an out-of-place little tower. This is the home of the governor of Brabazon. You can converse with the governor. The governor runs Brabazon. In the absence of more direct control from London, he's all-powerful here. Bring gossip to take tea with the governor. He'll let you keep what you can't consume. So I guess they'll give us some supplies. You recline on a bench and admire the topiary. Consider the immaculate lawn. This will lower your terror a little. Write a port report. If I remember right, this will we'll get kicked out of this because we don't have a ticket to investigate the Workworld. But the Brabazon Workworld is one of several, but it is preeminent among them. As a major industrial center, it is of interest to many. Or you could return to the bit between and your locomotive. Little Nice is such a terribly charming place, but it's time to go back to your engine. Let's try the port report. The overseers here work hard to ensure Little Nice remains perfect. From the freshly painted fence, curly cues, to the newly mown lawn, to the newly mown grass of the lawn. It's hard to get a sense of what is going on in Brabazon from your current curated surroundings. The overseers themselves are no use. They must have been briefed. Each gives you clearly sanitized information. You only have to speak to 4 before you hear a repetition. You will have to go down to the Workworld itself to learn anything true about Brabazon. You cannot get a report from the Brabazon Workload on Little Nice. Okay. Let's recline on a bench. Actually, let's do the tea first. We have... This will cost us 2. Fine. Alright. Hey, we got a caddy of dried tea out of it. That's nice. I've been thinking of varying the stops on the tour of Brabazon, but I don't want to increase the strain on the workers. They already like to put They always like to put on extra effort when we have guests, and if I change their routine... Shakes his head. No, we'll stick with what we have. It's very representative, after all. Have you been on it? No, not yet. So I was wondering if that would lower terror. Might have lowered it by 1. How much time is this going to cost? The grass is immaculately cut. A pocket of peace. The hedges are trimmed. The stars burn silver above. But it is hard to ignore the thunder of the hour looms, spinning their knots of hurrying time over the world below. And relax here again in 15 days. That was probably not a good use of my effort. Because we might need that someday. Actually, that's a good thing to remember. That we can reduce our terror here. What we really need to do is find some place where we can pretty reliably reduce it to 0. But return to the bit between and your locomotive. Yeah. Let us... We've been getting a bunch of these savage secrets. So I think we could probably go ahead and do this joint tour of Brabazon. Let's just go through these quickly. We read that. Join a tour of Brabazon Workworld. At the right forms, you can requisition hours. The tour guide can use those to ensure you remain safe. Once you join the tour, you will not be able to leave till the end. Oh, really? Join a tour of Brabazon Workworld. I don't know if I like that. The Overseer requires information. No one can be sentenced to the work world without first there being evidence of a crime. Once you join the tour, you will not be able to end. You can attempt to converse with an Overseer. We'll do that on the way out. We'll try this one. Donation received. The Overseer listens intently to what you have to say. Useful, I think. We shall see what can be done with that. Wrong voice for she, but still. She directs you to a group by the tour leader, who shepherds you all into a side room. The tour leader hands out thick cloaks to keep off the smut. Okay. The group covers itself. The hood lends one woman. The hood? Like, hoodlum? I'm confused. The hood lends one woman with her hair coiled up high on her head, an awkward shape and an unexpected height. Satisfied, the tour leader begins a briefing. We receive a carriage clock. The tour leader presents each with a carriage clock. As you know, time in the work world moves more velocitously than it does outside. In order to exempt you from these effects, we had the looms spin a fold of external hours to cover the tour. Please carry these carriage clocks. They will show you how much time your protection will last for. Please do not stray. He pauses for emphasis. It is crucial that you stay with the tour. If your time runs out, every minute it takes for us to realize could be hours for you. There's a flurry of anxious whispers. Anxious whispers. Did I say ancient? Once it has subsided, the group is led into the work world. Your carriage clock ticks merrily. You have plenty of time. Okay, your group is accompanied by 2 overseers. The overseer bringing up the rear is a woman in her early 30s. She checks her carriage clock impulsively. You can admire the rugs. Our first stop on the tour of the Brabazon rug is the Brabazon Rug Weaving Workshop. The overseer beams and gestures for you to enter a building larger than any other on the street. Attractive young worker leaps up to greet you. This workshop was built thanks to the generosity of Lady something. T something something R. Please admire our beautiful handcrafted rugs and weavings exported for sale in London. The workers here gain skills that can support them for the rest of their days. The group of workers nods and smiles at you. One stands to better display their work. Another thanks you for your visit. The youth is the last to see you out. Perhaps I'll see you elsewhere in Albion. Admire the rugs. You've seen rugs like this in countless homes. They're cheap, within the means of all but the poorest families. Or you can smile at the workers. A simple act of human warmth. I don't know if this will come off as contemptuous or what. This is feeling a bit like, what they call it, a Potemkin village, where they only show you what you're supposed to see. Let's admire the rugs. Handiwork is competent. Their predominant colors are black and gold, the Empress's favorites. Lions are popular designs, and unicorns, and crowns. How patriotic. Your carriage clock ticks away. You've plenty of time. Moving from the rug workshop, the tour is directed towards a glass factory. The air is yellow with smog. This is the glassworkers. A fascinating aspect of Brabazon is the mutually beneficial relationship between the place and its workers. The overseer makes a sweeping gesture. Make note of the smog. I'll explain more inside. The building you enter is heated by vast furnaces and ovens. Workers are blowing molten glass. The smog prevents much of the sun's heat from reaching Brabazon. Without factories such as this, Brabazon would freeze. Wait, the smog prevents much of the sun's heat from reaching Brabazon. Without factories such as this, Brabazon would freeze. Isn't that a contradiction? Alright, well, whatever. The workers keep the factories alive, and the factories heat the work world, and it becomes a pleasant place to live. Here, work enriches life. Several of the group coo in admiration. One man boasts about his Brabazon glass collection. A young lady in gaudy finery turns to you. My parents paid for the main furnace to ensure that the poor would never go without. What did you fund? So I can confess that you are not one of the donors. You are a locomotive captain, traversing the wilderness, defeating horrors, delivering goods, but perhaps one day you'll engage in charitable endeavors. Or you could declare that you paid for the roof over your very heads. You don't like to boast. For acts of charity are their own reward. But you are responsible for the workers' protection from the elements. Now what do we do? Because this is gonna probably get us some contempt, or maybe she'll be impressed, I don't know. But this is an obvious lie. And I'm sure that somebody else will be like, no, I paid for it. Let's do this. The young lady blushes. So dangerous. So romantic. That sounds much more fun. Is it difficult? Perhaps my parents will buy me a locomotive. She seems bored for much of the rest of the tour. It seems the thrills of your profession outweigh the charm of inherited virtue. Okay. I think that was probably the right choice. The tour moves through the upper layers of Brabazon towards a finery that belches heat like a dying dragon. Peer through the window at the hour refineries. Please line up here. That's it. The overseer indicates alongside a long, low window. It has been recently cleaned to a shine. Inside, hardworking souls refine raw hours imported from the Reach. After this process, they may spin in hour looms and be put to use. He taps his carriage clock for an example. Still plenty of time. Oh. The refinery is clamoring, roaring space of long benches, sweating workers, and roiling smoke. The overseer explains. The geodes contain the hours are cracked open, and the fibrous strands of salt-like time are separated with small chisels and saws. Men and women do the former work, children the latter. The filaments are then passed through a series of furnaces to remove impurities, which are in turn brushed away in an indigo slush. The slush is raked to ensure that not a stray minute is lost. Once the seconds and minutes and hours are extracted, they are seasoned, taken from a very high temperature to a very low one, and back. After doing this, tangled clumps, the color of the sky just before dawn or dusk, are carded and wound into spools and long filaments. The overseer raps sharply at the window. This one The nearby workers look up, smile, wave. Or as one. Sorry. You can hurry off after the rest of the tour, or you can linger and watch after the tour moves on. So if we hurry after the rest of the tour, they've moved on swiftly. You're separated from the tour. Uh-oh, they told us not to do that. You might not be able to find your way back. Or you could linger and watch after the tour moves on. What do they do when they haven't got an audience? Well, this is our first time through. I think we're going to try and stick with the tour. The lead overseer is all concerned and smiles when you rejoin the group. Given his care now, it is odd he didn't check you were still with them when they moved on. Perhaps what matters is only what can be reported back. Your carriage clock ticks cheerily. You've used nearly half your time. Leaving the refinery behind, you turn through the streets towards the ceaseless ring of hammers. A short walk later, and you enter a dusty yard. Watch the rock breaking. The tour leader adopts a noble frown. Unfortunately, not all the work at Brabazon can be creatively fulfilling. We also produce rock components like gravel and aggregates. It's a lot of reading, jeez. Once you've looped back to the yard, a bit near the bit between, a second overseer is already there. Men and women, hard with muscle, bright with sweat, are breaking rocks with sledgehammers. They wear vests and breeches with cloth masks to keep out the worst of the dust. We equip our workers with safety gear, just in case prolonged exertion in this air might prove unpleasant. As you can see, the regular exercise ensures they are strong and healthy. Many leave Brabazon with athletic inclinations and pursue fitness as a profession. A stout gentleman in a monocle sidles up to you. This whole place is marvelous, eh? Kept busy while paying off debts. Given new skills and education, simply marvelous. You could say, agree. Why not? Marvelous, every word. Or it could equivocate. Well, on one hand. And on the other hand, no. And on the third hand, or it could state that you're repulsed by the whole thing. And you have had enough of this farce of a tour. I'm going to agree. He nods vigorously, chins bouncing. We could do more, though, don't you think? His brow furrows mightily. Perhaps a library. A theater would be too louche? The carriage clock ticks out loud. You've used up half your time. Come on, the overseer is gesturing at you angrily. We cannot waste another moment. We have to leave. Now! Complete your tour of the Brabazon Workworld. It's important we it's important we return in plenty of time. So I'm afraid we'll have to end the tour here. The lead overseer circles the group, shepherding them in a huddle through the doors back to the bit between. Tour's end. A second overseer takes a head count. A poor one, for she double counts twice before giving up. Nevertheless, she signals her partner to go ahead. I hope you appreciated our little tour, and we shall pass your thanks on to the workers of Brabazon. Perhaps when they've paid off their debts, you'll see them again. The overseer shakes the hands of the most prominent donors. Of course, this little endeavor is thanks to your generosity, he murmurs to them. While the group preens, he collects the carriage clocks. The carriage clock is silent. Jeez, this goes on forever. The overseer who takes your carriage clock draws you aside. You're a skyfarer, aren't you? We've need of someone without official connections to the governor to help us with a delicate matter. We listen to the request. We need someone who isn't one of the sponsors. Jeez. Oh my goodness. It just goes on forever and ever. Hold on, I gotta grab a drink. My throat. Hopefully I won't burp into the microphone. There are unsavory individuals in Brabazon Workworld. What hell is that? Inveigle? Alright. They inveigle others to do their work, so that they might have time to plot. They are fomenting unrest, he shakes his head. It won't do. It just makes the other workers unhappy. Next time, see if you can sneak away from the tour. I hear their leader is looking for outside assistance. I had to burp. He winces. For once, time is on their side. They have so long to plan relative to us. You hear something passes me. I'll be around here. Suggest he does it himself. You are a visitor to this place. What the people do here is none of your concern. You can tell them to go to the blazes. This place is an abomination. Revolution. If that's what he hints at, it would only be for the best. No. Revolution sucks, and people who want it are stupid. You can make no promises. You won't reject him outright. Is he offering anything in return? What will he do to make it worth your while, or could accept with apparent delight? The work worlds are vital to London's industry. They keep debtors out of prison. Revolutionaries here are fools, yes. Thank you. Oh no. Thank you. I'm so glad you understand. He smiles. I'll be putting a case to the governor. I'll make sure you're paid for any information that helps us quell unrest. He shakes your hand and indicates it to a barrel in the corner. You'll need these. Come back to me if you hear anything. I'll be around. We're going to do this again right away? I don't want to do this again right away. God. Ugh. Here's a new one. Join a tour of Brabazon Workworld. A neatly printed sign offers tours of Brabazon. Witness the worthy work of Albion's unfortunates, blessed with toil. Near it, several well-dressed personages are gathered in a tight group. Occasionally, guffaws rise above the chatter. Once you join the tour, you'll be unable to leave till the end. I don't really want to do this again. We can try this. Let's read these others. Attempt to converse with an overseer. Few are willing to stop for mere conversation. Those that do will only linger at the Little Niece end of the tunnel. It's safer. Okay, fine. Or we can join a tour of Brabazon Workworld. The guards are not corruptible. Sunshine does not help them perform their daily toil and keep others at theirs. You would most certainly not be allowed to join a tour in exchange for it. Oh, I see. Overseers scurry back and forth along the glass tunnel, clumping at Little Niece's end. As they enter Little Niece, they remove grimy capes to reveal cheery red and white striped blazers. These are hung up to be collected on their re-entrance to the bit between. None seem to be willing to stop and talk. Well, I guess we should go back in. Do I want to, though? I don't really want to. Let's do it. Alright, it's the same. That's the same. Well, since we're trying to be duplicitous, maybe we'll smile at the workers and see what happens. They smile back, and their smiles are as stiff and rehearsed as the line the youth delivered. The tour moves on. Alright, this tour offers only those aspects of Brabazon deemed suitable for tourists. To see anything real of this place, you're going to have to explore unsupervised. Easy. The guides are focused on moving the tour along. No one notices you slipping away down an alley. Alright. The shanties are pressed close together. There are no more streets, only cramped alleys. With few windows, those are clogged with filth. Grimy workers trudge from work to home, eating as they go. Time is precious here. Minutes not spent at work are given to sleep. Alright, we can explore the true Brabazon. You're backstage now. The lights and props and the sham of the tour are left behind. You're right, a port report. Brabazon is one of several work worlds, but is preeminent. Affairs there act as a barometer for others. We can supplement workers' meager rations with some supplies that we've smuggled from our engine. So this would trade supplies for Tales of Terror. We don't really want that. We could rejoin the tour. We still have time to get back. Write our port report. The wheels that turn the world. Industry is booming here, as always. Labor is cheap, demand is high. Discontent simmers among the workers, but the ones who prove valuable are promoted to oversight positions. The wheels turn, Brabazon persists. Okay. Half our time is used up. Alright, behind the scenes, a thin, determined girl pulls a handcart along the street. Lying in back is a rag-wrapped corpse. Many fail to pay their debts at the work world and end their days here. Should the deceased have any debts still owing, it will now become the responsibility of his or her descendants and relatives. Alright, our new choice is give charity. A man sits on a roughly made chair, occasionally coughing brown phlegm into a handkerchief. When he sees you, he shouts, "A penny for your time?" He laughs. No, it's too low. Give one more try. Weary workers struggle to their first shifts. Gray as ghosts in the smog, they struggle under heavy tool bags and heavier debts. The debtor court does not give a good rate of exchange on sovereigns owed to years worked. Let's get back. Someone has marked out every corner with chalk. The arrows point towards the Brabazon tour route. Here and there, the markings have been covered over with soot, but it's easy enough to get back. Whoever the marker was, they were anxious not to get stuck here. The carriage's clocks are getting frantic. You're running out of time. Come on, come on! The overseer's gesturing at you angrily. We can't waste another moment. We have to leave, now! I don't like that we're running out of time, so let's get out of here. It's possible that I left at the wrong time. I left the tour at the wrong time. And maybe I should have waited until the second prompting. But let's be done with this for now. Just have to keep it in the back of our minds. There's something we can do here. Let's travel a little east, see if we can write another port report. Oh yeah, what did he request? Oh, what is this? Brabazon must be self-sufficient. Without industry to justify their lighting, our fires would go out. We must have work. His brow furrows. The workers refuse to understand that they live so long as they work. It's not a threat, it is a fact of living here. They require hope, give it to them. Not enough to stir them into revolt, but enough that the fires remain lit. How am I supposed to do that? I don't see anything else that can be done here, really. Is this broken? Can we not go to different areas? I guess we can't. Alright, let's get out of here. Yes, that's it. No, we don't have any hold space anyway. We could recruit the clay conductor. A hulking clay man in a heavy coat stands on the platform. The claymen were an underclass in old London. Very few of them came to the skies. This one holds an urn to his chest. You're a captain. You can perform funeral rites, he says, nodding to the urn in his arms. Then I want to travel. Pauses for a long moment. And then, as if feeling something more might be expected, I could help out on your engine. So we could recruit the clay conductor, say a few words about death in the sky. Skyfarers are accustomed to impromptu funerals. This will give us the clay conductor, first officer, who will increase parts by 6, iron by 2, and no affinity. I don't like that. It only costs 3 sky stories, though. Let's grab them. You ask the conductor where he would like to hold the ceremony. He looks about, confused, as though he didn't expect the question. At last, he comes to a conclusion. Here will do, he says, indicating the crowded thoroughfare. You and a few more respectable of your crew gather for a brief funeral. However, someone has put something in black. Everyone has at least something in black. Okay. You offered the expected phrasings before pausing for the eulogy. The Clay Conductor shakes his head. You do it, he grunts. So we could say a few words. You're sure you can extemporize something, or we can make the Clay Conductor speak. You don't even know who's in the urn. You render up a bounty of platitudes, benign wishes to the beyond, and maudlin references to departed friends. The conductor frowns stonily, realizing he needs to give you at least something to work with. He could sing, he manages. You work a line about a man of clay with the voice of an angel into the eulogy. The conductor seems satisfied. Where's your engine? I'm ready to assume my duties. The conductor picks up the urn and heads in the direction you point. Alright. Well, we've got him on the crew, but I don't think he's going to be better than our princess, so... Alright, let's head out. Actually, let's decide where we want to go first. I think we should probably just get up to London. Maybe go down south to here. Do a little scouting along the way. So hard to tell foreground from background in this game. Alright, where are we? I did it again. Jeez. Such a bad driver. Should take down her terror. It's a pretty good chance. So that is a good way to remove our terror. Kind of want to do a once around on this one. Still sounds like a phone to me. Probably should have assumed that the green lights are the ones you can go through. Oh. That's us. Alright. Now, we do have our person from New Winchester who we're supposed to deliver to the church at St. Jude's, the House of Jude, rather. St. Jude's is a new sequence church in lower, poor levels of London. The new sequencer preach glories the Clockwork Sun, that it will rewrite the old order of the cosmos and establish a new age, rather. Inside, tall windows emit shafts of sunlight. By the time it penetrates the smog that chokes the lower layers, it is smoky and yellow and purgatorial. We can speak to the priest. He has recently finished a sermon and is now making his way around the church, putting out the candles with a copper snuffer. Below St. Jude's, when you tell him you're looking for a friend, he puts the snuffer down. Ah, and you think your friend might have come into my care? Very well, you may come and see. He lends you the sacristy, and then down a steep... he leads you to the sacristy, and then down a steep flight of stairs to an area under the church. I must warn you, we are modest concerned. We keep our guests as comfortably as possible, but all of them have a strong preference for isolation. Unsurprising, I suppose. Ooh, we got eyes in the universe. Beneath the church, is a small corridor with rooms on each side. Their doors are barred on the outside. Huh. It's like an insane asylum. Is the staunch practitioner behind one of them? Open the first door. Behind it, a tiny room. A bed, a chair, a basin, a chamber pot. A figure wrapped in a blanket shrinks from the light. You open the second door. Don't come in, a woman's voice carries from behind it. Meg greets her teeth. Sorry, I have to know. Or we could open the third door. I mean, it seems like the second door is the best choice. The soul on the skin. A woman burrows into the bed sheets. Jeez, I can't read. A woman burrows into the bed sheets as the door opens, but Meg pulls the blankets back. A wide-eyed, frantic face shrieks at you, scowled with its own secrets. It is impossible not to read them. I knew, and I said nothing. I didn't go back for Sergeant Christie. I was afraid. This is not the staunch practitioner. The woman climbs to her feet. Look then. She spits, spreading her arms to show you her guilt. The fire doesn't burn the flesh. It reveals the soul. I hope it finds you. I hope it finds you and brands you with everything you hope to hide. That's awful. Let's go for the first door. Revealed. The vicar raises his lamp. I'm sorry, my child. It will only be for a moment. The light reveals a lean, bearded man. Well, it's not going to be it, because I think our staunch practitioner is a woman, right? His arms outflung against the light. Every inch of his skin is covered in script. You can't help but read some of it. I never loved Mary. I never loved any of them. I told the constables that John was the knife man. Robertson didn't die in an accident. Supplies were gone. We were far from home, and we were hungry. They're they are scarred with their own secrets, the priest says. He closes the bars and the door. No one left. Branded. Open the third door. Is your friend behind this one? She is not. Instead, a straggle-haired man looks dully up at you, blinking in the light. His skin is scribbled with a horrendous catalog of crimes. On half of which... Wait. One half of which would see him imprisoned, the other half hanged. He doesn't try to hide them. When you have no secrets left, he says, in an incongruously rich baritone, the courtesy will come. He grins, and you see his sins engraved on his teeth. Jeez. Well, that was unhelpful. Empty-handed. The victor is clearly unsure whether this is good news or bad. If your friend finds her way to us, he'll contact you. The vicar promises as he shows you out. But I must warn you, these are broken souls. Their exposed secrets make them pariahs from the lives they led, and make founding new ones impossible. Their days are easier hidden in the dark, tended by a stranger. Meg grunts as she passes the collection plate by the door, drops a fistful of gemstones into it. Better to get back to New Winchester, she says. She seems disinclined to talk. Well, that was extremely unhelpful. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it for this episode. I'm exhausted. I'm starting to lose it. I can't read anymore. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And if you have, please like, maybe comment, maybe subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.